over the weekend, I finished reading The Women by Kristen Hanna, and I read like this much of it, like 70% of it over 2 days. I truly could not put this book down. I picked this one up because I really, 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 really loved The Nightingale, even though it was just possibly the saddest book I ever read, and maybe the saddest book I ever will read. And I was really interested in this story of the Vietnam War and the women involved who historically have been forgotten and left out of the conversation. I thought this book was great. Obviously, reading like over 300 pages in a couple of days, it kept me reading. I found myself thinking, oh, what's Frankie up to? Even though she is a fictional character, but that's how kind of real she felt to me. That's how invested I was in this story. I think the one qualm I have with this book versus The Nightingale, or even just, on its own, is that I found some things to be a bit predictable with certain characters. It was kind of like foreshadowed in a way, but in a really obvious way. So it would say something and I'd go, oh, this is going to happen to so-and-so. And then it did pretty much every time. Like 3 or 4 times I predicted what was going to happen, which takes you a bit out of the experience of it all, makes it feel a little less real and a little more fiction. Again, that said, I was thinking about Frankie as if she's like my pal, my friend, and I'm worried about her. I'm like, what's going on with her? So I guess 2 things can be true at the same time, but I really liked this book. I think this book has great PTSD representation, tells a great story of what it means to be a veteran of the Vietnam War, how the U.S. kind of treated veterans while they were coming home, while they were at war, and then later once the war was ending, and really points to who the true, where the problem is coming from. I think veterans get blamed a lot for what happens during war, but ultimately it's not their choice. They're choosing to serve their country. They're being told that they have to. They're being told lies in order to do it. And the real issue comes from, obviously, the top leadership. Why are we in this war in the first place? And yeah, I think this book is a great representation of that. So if you haven't read The Women yet by Kristen Hanna, pick it up. It might look big, but you can crush it in 5 days like I did. I should have turned the camera off, probably.